And we're live here on YouTube. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land. And also like to welcome my buddy Rich. Rich, how you? Oh, wait. Rich isn't here. I'm by myself today. Yeah, I'm flying solo. So hopefully that's going to go well. But, who knows at this point? I might have broke some stuff, so I'm checking on some stuff before I get too far into it, cause. Oh, okay. I am live. Okay, perfect. Wow. Okay. Before we get started, I am here to say, Rich is busy this week. So he couldn't be here. He should be back next week is what he's telling me, but we'll see. He's yeah. With that, my week's been a little, it's slowing down at work, and so things are going a little bit there, and then we're trying to do some other stuff, and really excited. Got the good smoker working and in place and ready to go. So hopefully I can start getting that going. And yeah, with that, we got a NASCAR heavy show. I'm going to be talking a lot about NASCAR, a lot about some developments that have happened this week, as there was an announcement from Richard Childress Racing that we got to talk about, along with our normal NASCAR corner stuff. And we're going to talk a few little. I'm going to hit on the MLB real quick, but that's going to be, like I said, that's going to be real quick. And with that, let's go ahead and roll the intro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.
Okay, and we're back. Before we do any of that, as we do every week, we got to hit up our poll question. This week's poll question is in our PE activities. Oh, I didn't even vote yet. Your options were Dr. Dodgeball versus King or Queen of the Court. Danielle picked King or Queen of the Court. I picked Dr. Dodgeball. Solomon picked Dr. Dodgeball, Alex Cruz picked Dr. Dodgeball, and Rich picked Dr. Dodgeball. So Dr. Dodgeball will go on with 4 votes to 1, and with that, the victory. Yeah, I love that game. We will have a poll question going live fairly soon. It's Red Rover versus the scooter relay races. Look for that to go live on Facebook.com/fans of Balls and Sticks, Facebook.com/Balls and Sticks, or on Rich and Mine's page. With that, do you guys see what's coming up next? Yep, I hope you said it, but if you didn't, it's a left turn, and after that, it's another left turn, and why is that? Because we're heading into the NASCAR corner. Presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. This last week, we were at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Your winner, and for the first time in NASCAR history, Tyler Reddick pulled off 3 in a row to start the year. My pick of Shane Van Gisbergen finished second, and Rich's pick of Kyler Zilich finished 14th. I am 3-0 on the year, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good. This week we're heading to Phoenix for the Straight Talk Wireless 500. Straight Talk Wireless 500 Rich is going to take Ryan Blaney. He put his in before I picked mine, which I'm going to let it slide this week, but I actually really wanted Ryan Blaney this week. Instead, I took Josh Berry. And with that, let's get into the news. So, this week, it was announced by RCR it initially started with the Dale Jr. podcast is the first place where it went. Then they moved it over to Cletus McFarland's channel, and the NASCAR world blew up. RCR has officially signed Cletus McFarland to 3 races a year. Hopefully, he's hoping to start this year at Richmond. Then he's going to do the super speedways, but he's hoping that he can make that work. In a O'Reilly's Auto Parts vehicle. That escalated quickly. Why? So, things that people look like they're mistaken on. I'll say look like they're mistaken on. I won't say that they are. I'll say that they look like it. A lot of people are talking about how, well, this is super quick. And I totally agree. This is quicker than it should be. I'm really nervous about it. But there's also an issue that people are like, oh, let's look at the timeline. He said 5, and actually at the time it was only 4. When the deal was made, by the way, there was only 4 ARCA races that he had under his belt. 4. He did not have the truck race. They worked out a deal pre 500 weekend. So before the truck race happened, before all that, they got this deal set up. Cletus has had some of the guys has had, I think he's had Ty Dillon, which is Richard Childress' grandson, on at the Freedom Factory, which is the track that he owns, for a race or two. So to me, that indicates that there's some, I don't want to say there's some familiarity with the team and with Cletus. That's number 1. Number 2, this is way too fast. Now, do I think Cletus McFarland can drive? Yeah, I think he can drive. But do I think he needs to allow himself the time to actually develop? This is where the problem comes in. He's going way too quick. Stop and smell the roses, Cletus. You went from driving Crown Vics to just straight up, like, you got into the ARCA series. I think that's a great place for you to be. You crashed out of your first race. Again, arguably not your fault. Your second race, you did better. You still crashed out. This year, your 5th race is the first time you've made it on the lead lap all the way through. You did Bristol. Good job. That's a tough track to do. But you didn't have, it took you time to get the speed up. If you run like you did at Bristol, at Richmond, you're going to get run over. You're going to cause problems. I am hoping that the big thing that he's going to get here is he's going to get a lot, and I mean a lot of time in sims, gets some practice time, has like guys sitting with him, talking with him. Now, when I say sims, I'm not talking like the sim racing that I do here. I could sit here and do sim racing all day. Does that translate to the track real well? Sometimes, a little bit. But, and this is where the big issue is. It doesn't. It rarely. I won't say it doesn't fully translate. When I'm sitting here, it might be a little warm in here. I might turn up my headset super loud. Might be loud. But the feel of the car, all I'm getting is through the steering wheel. I'm not getting the floatiness. I'm not getting the strapped in feeling. Yes, I think that actually getting those feelings actually makes it easier to drive a car. That's me. I've always thought that. But just because you can run laps on a sim does not mean you're going to be great when it comes to putting it on the track. But that's home sims. Now let's talk about the simulators that they have at NASCAR facilities. The simulators they have at these NASCAR facilities are full rigs. You essentially strap yourself in a car. It's not quite. They do some things, but they strap you in. You're in a race seat. You're sitting in something that's very similar to the car you're going to sit in. Your equipment feels the same. You have the dash. You have all the things. They don't even use regular monitors. They essentially project the whole thing around you. Those sims are designed to actually be pretty close to one-to-one. So Cletus getting in there, getting to do his thing, putting the time in, working with a coach who's going to be like, hey, guys, time out. This is where, like, you need to work here. You need to do this. We've seen it when he was at Bristol. I will give him some credit. He was getting destroyed. He went a couple laps down, got his way figured out, and then was, by the end of the race, he was running laps equivalent to the leaders in the ARCA series, by the way. This is just the ARCA series. So it's going to take some time. Yes, he can learn. He can figure out. He can start wheeling it. Like, he's a wheelman. He really is. I'm not even arguing that. I think he's going to do great eventually, but I think it would have been better for him. It would have been better for him to actually race an entire series in the ARCA series. Maybe do a little bit more time in the ARCA series before stepping up. Now, people are getting hung up. This is where I was talking about earlier. People are getting hung up that Cletus was in the race and crashed out so early on the ARCA, or on the what race is that? On the truck race. People are like, well, he just crashed right out and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's talk about that too. The deal was done before that ever happened. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I don't think he was the reason they went 3 wide. He might have been. He might have been holding people up enough that they were like, we got to get past this guy. But I don't think he pushed it 3 wide. I think he was pushed into 3 wide. He stayed on the top. Or he was there. He stayed in his line and people went around him. He didn't wreck in the 3 wide. He actually wrecked when he was on the bottom, by the way. Trying to turn laps and figure it out. Caught his 2 tires on the apron just enough. and spun out. That happens. Yes, I think that anybody that is, if it would have happened to someone else, would anybody have complained? No. Could it have happened to anybody else? Yes. What's that mean for him? Yeah, it's given up. It's NASCAR has pushed back. A lot of old school NASCAR people have pushed back on it. I can understand that. By the way, I consider myself an old school NASCAR guy. I was watching NASCAR in the early 90s. I've been watching NASCAR since the 80s, probably, actually. The hard part is we've always had these guys that just come in and do their thing. Always. We've always had these guys that just one off here, one off there. Road course specialist. If he was a road, here's my other thing. If he was a road course specialist, would anybody have a problem with this pace? No. Road course specialists come in all the time and are like, oh, look at me. I'm this guy. I'm going to do this thing. Well, what experience do you have? Well, I drive road courses. Boris said, and again, I'm not saying his whole career, but when he first started, he essentially was just a road course guy. He didn't do a ton of racing outside of that, especially in the Cup Series. He did trucks from 95 to 2000. He was known for running the 20, like he was a road course guy. He raced in the Rolex series. He did a bunch of stuff there. He raced in 7 years. He raced 65 races in the truck series. He only ran 20. He had a 20-year career and only ran 55 races in NASCAR. 20 years, 55 races. That's less than 3 a year. And most of those are all road course races. Did anybody have a problem with that? By the way, his NASCAR career was... Now, I'm saying NASCAR career because what some people are, I think, are struggling with are remembering that Cletus drives other things, other places. He does tons of motorsports in other ways. So I have a hard time with people that are like, well, this or that. Cletus has put time in. No, do I think this is too fast? Yes. Yes, I do. But do I think Cletus deserves to get opportunities? 100% yes. I think he should have put more time in the ARCA series before he got a truck. I actually don't mind skipping trucks to go to the O'Reilly series. as the O'Reilly series is something that the trucks drive completely differently than the cars do. Yeah, like they talk about that you're trying to drive a piece of plywood at 200 miles an hour. Those trucks handle completely differently. So yes, I think that the trucks are a harder transition from O'Reilly's or from ARCA to the Craftsman Truck Series than it is from ARCA to the O'Reilly series. That being said, there is something about putting in your time. Personally, I think people are trying. And I'm not just. I don't think it's just RCR. I think NASCAR as well is trying to capitalize on Cletus McFarland. I think 100% they are trying to capitalize on Cletus McFarland. Do I have a problem with that? No. But do I think they're pushing him a little too fast, a little too much, a little too fast? Yeah. He needs to take a breath, get used to driving in the cars with a pack of 40 on super speedways or 30 or whatever it is in the ARCA race. Get used to doing that before you're trying to jump into a car that's too big for your britches. So, all that being said, I'm actually really excited. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, when Cletus announced that he was doing the Daytona race in ARCA, I said, if you go back, I got receipts on it. So if you go back, you can see I actually I called that series How Cletus McFarland Saves NASCAR. I got the receipts. Go check it out. It's easy to find. So, if I'm accurate, I would argue, again, I still argue, Cletus McFarland's probably going to save NASCAR with this. What's that look like? Well, we're already seeing the McFarland effect, as I'm going to call it, in their campaign ad this year for the Daytona 500. Their hell yeah campaign. Well, if you know anything about Cletus McFarland, his intros are, "You're on the Cletus McFarland hell yeah, brother. You're on the Cletus McFarland YouTube channel." I love it. Cletus McFarland is trying to get back. It's a character he plays. If you didn't know that, there is some of Garrett Mitchell in Cletus McFarland, but Cletus McFarland is 100% a character that he's been playing. When he's on the camera, that's what he does. Now, do I think he does other things and that he's like that loves having fun, loves America, all that stuff? Yeah. But you have to understand that he's playing a character, and part of that character, that hell yeah brother character, is essentially back to the roots of what NASCAR was, and that's what he's trying to do. So, I'm excited for it. I think it's great. I think it's going to be a great thing. I'm hoping that this RCR thing, the biggest thing I'm hoping that it does is that it provides Cletus with some development ability. So yeah. With that this has been the NASCAR Corner, presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs on 5th Avenue in Moline or on their eBay store. Once again, that is Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. In the baseball world, the World Baseball Classic has started 2 days ago. I actually love seeing the Baseball Classic stuff. It's fun to see these guys. It's essentially, to me, what the All-Star Game could be. Like, it's like doing the All-Star Game before the season. Because again, and yes, it's a little different because you have players that aren't major leaguers that are playing in it. Like China, I think, played Japan today. China played Japan in baseball today. I don't know if there's any... Oh, it's Chinese Taipei. Are there any... I'm looking because I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. I don't want to... As of this year, it does not appear that there are any players this year in the majors from Chinese Taipei. There have been some in the past. Oh, wait. We have two. We have a pitcher and an infielder. One for the Giants and one for the Pirates. So they have two. So in order to make a team, that means they have to have guys that aren't on the majors in Major League Baseball. That being said, they did get beat 13-0, so that's a little rough. But I do love seeing other countries do that, and it's like I said, it's the All-Star Game plus to me, and I think this is a great way to do it. It's spring training in ways that actually mean something, so there's that to it. I'm loving it. I'm excited. I'm gonna watch more of it. So I'm gonna skip the Cubs spring training stuff right now. Rich and I will get into some of the bench, pinch hitter, player, blah blah, all that stuff. We'll get into that later, as it's fun to have a little bit more discussion on it. Position battles, stuff like that. We'll get into that probably next week. But yeah. So, it's gonna be a short show. I'm not gonna go super long on this. But what I will do, and I do want to bring up, the Bears have made some big moves. I'm not gonna do huge talks on this, as again, I want to get Rich's opinion on it. Bears traded DJ Moore away. Their center retired. It looks like they might have gotten somebody in for that, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to where I want to do. Okay, so so the Bears picked tons of stuff went down this week. I'm trying to see. But yeah, Bears traded DJ Moore away. In doing that, they got. What did they end up getting? This is why I'm going to wait for Rich next week, because we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to get a little bit more into it. It does save the Bears $16.5 million in cap space. The deal sends a fifth round, a second round in 26. To me, this doesn't make a ton of sense. I wholeheartedly think that I have to trust in the process, but man, the DJ Moore one actually has me a little upset. So we'll get into it later, but man, I think that's a tough one for the Bears. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. But there's some stuff to talk about there. I don't want to get too into the weeds with it, because I think that there's some stuff there's stuff that Rich and I can talk about in it, and it'll be good. So, yeah. Finally, I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. We're going to start talking about, I'm going to talk about The Masked Singer. If you don't want to listen to that, if you haven't watched, go ahead and leave. That's okay. I don't take offense to it. Catch us back when you're, jump back in the podcast when you're ready. Spotify has that resume play button. Go ahead, come back. We'll see you when you get here. And you can catch up. Give us your opinions if you would like in the comments in that. I'm going to try to start bringing that up more often to see if we're getting anything on there. I'm also going to update this week. This week I'm updating Spotify, which should get it out to all the platforms. Next Friday, look for a bunch of episodes to drop. If you've been wondering where they've been, it's because we've been busy and I haven't done it. This upcoming Friday, I have off. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do that. Hopefully that works, and we'll get that done. But with that, let me give you an esports update. We started practice this week. We are going to host Spirit Lake on Tuesday at 4 o'clock in the auditorium. It's going to be a really cool event. I'm hoping we can make it look really cool. We're going to broadcast it. We're going to do a lot of stuff. So I'm working on that. I'm going to do a lot of that work this week. And then hopefully, or tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to do a lot of work for that so that Tuesday we can be ready to go. Going to be great. With that, time to talk about The Masked Singer as it is a big deal. Put that there. I'm going to take, where did I put that? This. So I need that. Okay. This week was Ozzy Osbourne week on The Masked Singer. They called it Ozfest. I enjoyed it. Their intro was great. They brought Kelly back. People are concerned that she looks a little ill. She's going through some stuff, guys. Come on now. Let's just acknowledge that she is going through some stuff. And her family is I mean, her dad died not that long ago. Like, it's been crazy for her. So we'll talk about. I'll go through each one. High Voltage did Paranoid, which I thought he did a great job on. I was amazed at how good he did. Galaxy Girl did Drive. She did a good job. She did a really good job. Eggplant did One Step Closer by Lincoln. Oh, Drive by Incubus for Galaxy Girl. One Step Closer for Lincoln Park by Eggplant. And I struggled with that one. I don't think he did a great job. And then Panagalin did Mama, I'm Coming Home. And man, was that a tearful rendition of it. She nailed it. My favorite performance of the night, by far and away. If you know the story, the part of it for me was knowing the story behind it. The song, listening to her change it for her own and do it her way was completely different. But still amazing job. In the initial vote, Galaxy Girl and Panagalin were safe, and High Voltage and Eggplant went to the eliminations, to the Ozfest Royale. I don't like that they're naming it this. It's dumb. Come on now. But in Ozfest Royale, Eggplant went up against High Voltage, and actually, I think Eggplant did an amazing job in this one. I actually think he did a really good job. If the vote was based only on the Iron Man by Black Sabbath, I think Eggplant might have done a slightly better job than High Voltage. But with that being said, I think overall High Voltage has been much better. Eggplant ended up going home and was eliminated, and it was an actor, singer, and soap opera legend, Jack Wagner, most known for being on General Hospital, The Bold and the Beautiful, Melrose Place, Santa Barbara, another soap opera. He's a soap opera actor is what he's known for, but he also does a lot of other things. And did Masked Singer this year and did fairly decent. I don't think it was bad. I think there were a couple times where he wasn't great, but I don't think he was the worst by any means. And so it was good. I think they got it right this week. I do struggle with the show is completely run by the organizers, by the producers. So it's with that being said, thanks for joining us this week. If you have anything you want to talk about, go ahead and throw it in the comments. I'm going to try to read those more often. We check every week. We don't get them. So if you want to join in on the conversation, do that. Or if you want to join in on the conversation midweek, you can always jump into Fans of Balls and Sticks and Fans of Balls and Sticks on Facebook.com or Facebook.com/Balls and Sticks. Either one of those is a great place to put some stuff up. If you see an article that you think we should talk about, put it there. We'll take a look at it. If it makes the cut, we'll throw it in there. Otherwise, we'll at least try to give shout outs for those. Also, shout out to Rich and Amy. Hope you guys are doing all right. And we will see you next week. With that, let's roll the outro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.